What is up? Derek 13 Series Engineering here, and today we are starting a new video series. There's so many videos that I've wanted to make and so many cool things I want to go over, but I just haven't had time because of work. So I thought I'll just take you guys to work with me and we can work on a project together and we'll just go through everything start to finish. This will be a little bit more of a different style, I guess, of development. And I'm going to try and break this down into shorter episodes as well, so it should be easier to watch. Basically, I have a new project for an existing client where their website is it's not optimized for SEO. It has some issues with accessibility, and it has responsiveness issues as well. So I'm going to take care of all those things for them. They kind of want the same look and feel that they have, so I'm not going to have to really mess with like UX or design things. We're going to keep things pretty similar, just fix some issues. And then they also want some added functionality. This is a medtech company that offers a basically subscription service that's covered by your insurance. It's for diabetic wellness coaching, health coaching. So we're going to give users the ability to basically enroll in the service, and it's through your insurance. So their insurance is going to have to be verified, or they can pay out of pocket every month using Stripe. And I actually have this functionality kind of already set up in an application, a web app I built for them to do all this stuff. So basically we're just going to add that functionality to the website. They have like a contact form on there as well. And there's not going to be a database for this. Basically, when someone signs up for their service, it will dump their information into SharePoint. So it'll be a database list, things that'll make DevOps a little easier. No migrations. We might use Doctrine a little bit though. And we'll go through like the SharePoint API a little bit as well in this project. So it should be pretty good stuff. But this is a great use case for Symfony. You get server-side rendering, you get all the SEO stuff you need, you have a legit, professional website, and then you have like web app functionality in part of it as well. So that's a huge advantage. You don't get SEO. There's a lot of things you don't get just using like React or Vue or something like that. So um, you know it's a good framework to do all this with. So I haven't started any of this at all. Basically, I'm just going to take, in this episode, we're going to go through setting up a Symfony project. And then next time we'll probably do like nav and footers and stuff like that. We are going to use Turbo for this, but we're going to go through all the Symfony stuff that we're going to need for this project. Um, Basically, the first thing is if you don't have the Symfony command line, you should definitely get it. That's what I use for mostly everything. It makes stuff super easy. There's just instructions here on how to download the Symfony CLI. And then once you have that, you can just run Symfony check requirements. This is going to make sure you have everything installed on your machine. And we do, of course, because we're using Symfony all the time. But if you're missing something, it will tell you. And then we are making a web app, so we just copy this command, and then we're going to change the name of it. What are we going to do here? Live Care Health website. That's the name of the company, and we're building their website. So cool, too easy. Now basically it's going to build out a Symfony project, blah blah blah. And that is essentially it. That's all you got to do. We can run the server now, Symfony server start-d, and have all of our stuff. It's going to come with a Docker Compose file and everything. We're going to need Turbo for this pretty heavily, and we're going to need Stimulus. So that's the next thing I'm going to install. Symfony UX. We need stimulus for all of this. We're going to get stimulus, and we're going to get turbo, and we're going to get live components. So that's the next thing I'm installing is stimulus. We're going to have to do some stuff with Yarn and Webpack, but we'll get to that in a minute. Symfony Turbo. UX Turbo, there we go. That'll have turbo drive, turbo frames, all that stuff. Then we're going to do live components, which well, you might need to have Twig components installed for this as a prerequisite. Or maybe it installs it as well if you don't already have it. Let's see. Let's see if we get in trouble for this. Alright, cool. We got that. We need Bootstrap. And we need Yarn. So just did a force install on Yarn to build our log file. Yarn add Bootstrap. Whoa. Why? Google? It's that new Google Journeys thing. Not that. Where's the command for it? I can just type Bootstrap, but I wanted to show everyone the thing. You could just do yarn add Bootstrap, but I wanted to show everyone where to find it. I guess it's in their docs too. Okay. We also want the icons. I like Bootstrap icons. That's what I like to use for stuff. So we're gonna add them. I think it's just Bootstrap dash icons, right? Oh, I didn't know you could get them via Composer. That's cool. Yarn add Bootstrap icons. Alright, essentially we should have everything set up for this. And if we are missing something, we can check it out later. We're probably going to need to... Oh man, I think I installed all of this in the wrong directory. I did! So we're going to get to go and do all that again. Oops. I didn't even CD into the project. That happens. Mistakes, you know? Mistakes were made. That's alright. We're going to fix all this really quick. I'm just going to go to my source and I'm going to delete all of this stuff. Move to trash. Apple does not like delete for whatever reason. Cool. Okay. Now, this is where all our stuff's supposed to be. Let's go and do all the same commands how we're supposed to be in the right directory. We probably are going to need to add a few things like core and popper.js when we get to Bootstrap, but we will see when we run Webpack what happens. It'll tell us what we're missing. Okay, we got Turbo, live components, that was the next one. We probably, I think security should already be included in this from Symfony. We'll look, but we are going to want security for CSRF protection for our sign-up form at some point. Add Bootstrap. Bootstrap icons. Cool, I think that was everything. Yeah, there we go. Popper.js core. Okay, I think we're good. Sweet. All right. Yarn encore dev dash dash watch. Now we might have a Webpack issue. Yes, yan is not a command. Command encore not found. Okay, so we need to add, and let's just pop this open real quick. Now, we don't have Webpack in here, and that's an issue. So we're just going to add it. Well, we should really, I think Symfony has their own docs on this. Installing Encore, there we go. Not finished yet. Okay, there's our Webpack config. Awesome. I think we got everything we need, but this is basically your, out of the box Symfony with Turbo, with Stimulus, and live components enabled. And if we look at our composer, we just have all of this stuff. There's mailer is included. Um, you know, let's see. We have Doctrine Messenger, Doctrine Bundle. We have all the Doctrine stuff. We don't have security, which we are going to want to configure a few things. But we don't have to worry about that now, but we might as well just get it. Symfony security bundle. Symfony security. Okay. I'm not sure exactly what else we're going to need thinking about it, but we should be good. So now that all this is done, basically there's three things we're going to do. And we're not even going to look at the site. We're just going to go with like, well, this is just basic config stuff. We need to add, this is great that it tells us that we need a language tag, because that language tag is required for ADA. So you get dinged on ADA for that. We also need our bootstrap tag. So we're going to add meta and head tags. We are also going to do robots.txt and sitemap. And so, okay, if we go to bootstrap, get started, I think it's going to tell us, yeah, this viewport tag, that's important. We need that or you will have some issues. We want our title to be Live Care Health. And like I said, I'm building this off the existing website. They have home in their title tag. We are going to want to edit a lot of this stuff. We basically have like 4 routes here. Contact, I guess, is its own route. Maybe it should just be a pop-up, but we can have it as a route. Get started is kind of what we're mostly going to be replacing. There's not a lot of content to this site, so we are probably going to want to add a few sections just for SEO that will be helpful. But we have home, so if I go and view page source, and like I said, a lot of the SEO and stuff for this isn't right, but for the sake of time with SEO, Yoast SEO plugin, there's a lot of things here that if you go and run Lighthouse, you're going to see some of the issues. Sometimes if you flip tabs, Lighthouse doesn't work, but you do need a good title. And we're actually not going to use the title block because we're going to, well, yeah, we're going to have, essentially, we're going to have title, canonical, and all the meta tags. not the icon, which is actually missing from this site currently. The icon will be outside of that, but I'm just going to call this head tags. And we're going to override this on every page basically. So it has its custom title, canonical, OG tags, all that stuff. There's a bunch of things that you need to have for SEO on each page and to get a proper sitemap. A lot of this stuff is okay. Yeah, canonical, we need all that. JSON LD tags, you don't necessarily need those. The Twitter stuff, we don't necessarily need those either. You don't need exactly all of these. Do need a robots tag, and you need a robots file. That can stay outside of head tags. Blah, blah, blah. We do want to keep all these the same just because they've already been indexed by Google, so we don't necessarily want to go and change stuff around. It'll take time to get reindexed, and that time for SEO is valuable. So I'm not exactly an SEO expert. I just know kind of what you need to or want to have. And just so everyone knows, Google basically does not use like meta tags for they got some duplicate stuff in here. That's not great. It's weird that that stuff's in there twice. OG is for like Facebook and everything like that. It's your social stuff. Google goes off more of your content than your site than what's in your meta tags. So crawling meta tags for like description and all this stuff isn't necessarily required, but it definitely doesn't hurt. This is just such messy markup fusion. I think yeah, this is we're gonna fix a lot of this stuff and make this a very, very clean site. Google site verification, we're gonna throw that in to remember to fix that, because that is something we're gonna do with site mapping and a bunch of other stuff. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, we should basically I hate when this happens. You just have to rerun it. Like it just doesn't, when you flip out of the tab, it just doesn't like it. So we're just gonna sit here and watch this. And as we think of different meta tags to add and do some more like keyword research and stuff, we can go and add all those things. We got good performance, but the two issues are accessibility and SEO. And so Lighthouse is a good tool to use. There's a lot of other tools. Backward forward cache restoration. I've actually never, that's under performance. I've never had an issue with that using Symfony. I don't know what these guys used to build this site. There's probably keyboard control issues. Yeah. Contrast issues in a lot of places. Headings H3, H4, and there's, it's missing a heading element. That's not great. There's console issues, which we might have if we're using Stripe, and that's a big deal for Google, is we don't want any console issues. So yeah, taking a Stripe payment, we have to make sure all those problems are cleaned up, because I have had some issues with Stripe console things. no meta description. Links are not crawlable because there's A tags without hrefs. So that's a huge issue too for Google. So um, yeah, that's just stuff we gotta clean up. Now we need meta description, meta title, and meta keywords. And if you just Google that, what meta tags to use for SEO, and this stuff is probably a little outdated, but it's not really showing us the code. Description. Yes, that's a title tag. But we want meta title. Yep, we do want these. But we want a robots.txt as well. So if we go, let's see if they used one. There we go. Yoast. We're going to delete all that. But there's our robots in our document root. This should allow basically everything. And you can verify this by just allow all. That's an old one. Let's look at something newer. All other user agents are allowed to crawl the site. That's basically saying disallow nothing, but it's the same thing as saying allow everything, which I kind of prefer. Disallow all. So I think they might have had this backwards actually. Well, there was nothing in there. So allow all is, yeah, disallow nothing, but you could just do allow. It's funny that they're saying to do it this way. Basically the same thing. We can just put that back, I guess. Sitemap, and we're going to have a sitemap here as well. Same exact thing. Google's going to have to recrawl it, but that's okay. Blah, blah, blah. We're going to get rid of all this and just do index follow. Cool. All right. That's basically all that we need. Oh, I forgot all the different meta tags. I'm just seeing if they kind of list them out in this article. This isn't a bad article. I think they're mostly right on everything. It doesn't have everything we need though. We do want description, title, and keywords. Although they're not really required, they do help. And these tags we're basically going to rewrite on each page because our canonical is going to be different. Our these won't be different, but the URL for the OG URL will be different. We're going to do some keyword research and put keywords in here, but we can just copy this for now. Cool. Okay. Basically, that's all we need to get started with SEO stuff. There will be some tweaks and some other things that we add in the future. But for now, that's good. And then the next thing we're going to need is, it's funny that you're using an SEO plugin, YoastWordPress.com, that doesn't actually give you 100% on Lighthouse for SEO. But there's some other things that were the issues there. But not having a meta description tag is, and again, Google doesn't like index off of that, but it calls you out. And there's a lot of other things for SEO like CLS, page speed. There's a lot of things that Google will not rank you as high based on, you know, essentially how good like your site, like how well written your site is. That's important. We're going to need to change these to assets in Symfony. But I can just download this image that's currently being used. Oh, not that one. I might need to screenshot it. I need their little logo, which has got to be someplace. If not, I have it in my email. I can just pull that out at some point. It's funny that the icon's not loaded at all. Okay, I'm gonna have to go to my email to pull all this stuff out. That's all right though. We will worry about that in a little bit, because right now we're gonna do Symfony build sitemap. Build a sitemap. Maybe this will tell us how to do it. Not really. My point that I'm making is that you can just Google all this stuff. Google's probably the best thing to do, because that's where you're uploading it. Cool. Basically, to do this, you don't need, you just need the location. So if we look at the one that they already have just for SEO purposes, so the sitemap doesn't change, we can probably just copy that. I want to make sure it's right though. We might make some tweaks to it. I'd really just like to see the actual XML, which we can't seem to access. Those are all their links, which we're just going to need all of these. Okay, not helpful. I don't know why PHP Storm is complaining about this, but it is. This is all just products, which is really annoying. But basically, that's it. URL and the location. So we can just copy all these. We got contact, get started, terms and conditions. Is there an and in there? Nope. Disclosure notice. HIPAA compliant. I'll just copy that. There are a lot of other things you can add, like last modified, all this other stuff. You know, you see they got images here. We can add last modified. I think it's last mod, right? No hyphen. Last mod. Totally did that wrong. Year comes first, then month, then day. Like I said, I'm not an SEO pro, but I do know a few things. I know a few tricks. Cool. Okay. Privacy policy about. Diabetes care. Okay. Cool. Basically, that's all the things they had. We're going to keep all those. If there's one I'm not going to use, a route I'm not going to use, I'll just remove it. But that should be everything. If we go back to their site, get started is like not a, it's a modal. It's not a. It's the same thing. It's just its own page. It's basically like inaccessible, which that's kind of weird. It should kind of be one or the other, you know? We might just have that be, well, we might want that link for other reasons, like to put in an email or something. So, yeah. And it's in the sitemap, so it just takes you to get started. But we might do that and not, just do it not in a modal, just and have it be its own route. The contact form, yeah, we can have that be a route as well instead of a modal. Sometimes it's just better for SEO and to only have it in one place. Modals are great, but you don't always need to use them. And there's plenty of reasons not to. I want to know why it says this. Hey, they got the same thing. This is old though, huh? Is there fetch external resource? Interesting. Well, I guess that's something I'll have to look into at some point. Oh, just had a little Mac OS freak out. That's okay. All right. Anyways, basically, there's some tweaking. This isn't production ready. There's some other stuff we have to do. Um, but we can just go and set up a repository for this at some point, and I'm just going to do that now. Um, yes, I need GitHub two-factor authentication. This is a website, definitely private. Um, just a blank repository. And then we just need to set this as the remote, which if we push everything, cool, okay. Says it pushed. And there we go. All right, so we got a GitHub set up, just a master branch. I'm gonna have to make branches off this at some point. But, oh yeah, we do want to add, not you. We need this stuff. And one thing I forgot to do is actually add Bootstrap in the JS part, and we're going to need that for several different things. Not this. There's two different Bootstraps. There's this one, and then we're going to import. Wow, I can't type. Bootstrap JS. Oh no, we're not. That's the wrong thing. Not Bootstrap JS. This one. And then in our main CSS, we need to import let me just make sure I got this right. Helps to check your other repositories sometimes because I just can't remember. Assets, app.js, we got just import Bootstrap, and we need import Bootstrap JS as well because that has other things like all of our stimulus stuff. So for some reason, I think we're missing. We installed stimulus, but maybe it's that we don't have this bundle, stimulus bridge. We need that Bootstrap stuff though. I'm not sure why that's not in there and why it's not giving us issues, but we're probably going to have some well, all right, I guess we're good. Okay, now if we go to styles and look at app, we need Bootstrap, Bootstrap icons. Wow, all over the place. All right, now basically we got everything. Do we want this to be SCSS instead of CSS? Maybe at some point. There's not a lot of animations on this page, just a few hover ones and a few fade-in ones, which you don't need SCSS for. You don't need Sass for. You just need CSS with keyframes. So yeah, cool. We should basically have everything. If we look in our config, we have all this stuff now. We should have Turbo installed. UX Turbo, yes. now we can basically forget about a lot of this boring stuff for the time being, and start writing some HTML and some styles next time. But this is just a basic setup. But you know, there's a few things missing. It's not perfect, but once we get our home page done, we can check it with Lighthouse and Wave and see if we're at 100% or whatever's missing. We need some keywords to be added and some different things, and we can use ChatGPT for all that stuff, and do some keyword research. But ChatGPT will do those things for you, and we are going to sponsor some keywords on Google as well at some point. So it's important to have Google site verification done so we can do all of our so that's where we can, you know, sitemap, upload a sitemap, do, you know, all the stuff that Google wants, so we can be optimized for SEO in every way possible, because we want stronger SEO and we want to sponsor. So yeah, cool. It's too easy. I will catch you guys next time.